we alternated really well today with going to the ball, going in the space. You know, whenever Bernardo or Phil were going in the space, me or Raz were going in behind, and vice versa. And I think they didn't know where to pick up the players, and also whenever we had an opportunity, we were dangerous and we scored a goal. So that changed the dynamic of the game.
You can plan all the strategy in the world. When it comes a player like De Bruyne and score 4 goals, you can do nothing about that.
Did you have a special plan for him?
No, we have a plan for Man City. You can have a plan for De Bruyne, and then you think about Bernardo Silva, and then you think about the other one. So it's difficult to have a special plan for just one player. We think about collective side. It's a strong collective side. Today is De Bruyne day.
The second part of the season, he made quite similar displays like today, but today he scored 4 goals, and that would make the performance no worse. Unstoppable, brilliant, awesome, outstanding. So perfect.
Yes, huge win, of course, for Manchester City in terms of the title race. Puts them 3 points clear again, but the 5-1 scoreline makes a huge difference, you suspect. Well, there's no doubting, I don't think, actually, who the man of the match was. Stunning performance from Kevin De Bruyne. You've played against him lots of times. You're probably much happier sitting in that seat.
Yeah, absolutely. He was absolutely sensational tonight. Right from the start, he set the tone for his team, put on an absolute clinic, and we used to seeing him in maybe a deeper position or out wide, especially when I played against him a couple of years ago. And this is what I'm used to. When you play against him, he's going to whip balls in from a deeper position, but he's actually playing a little bit more advanced now, and he's getting ahead of his front three. It's a great left foot finish there, and you see he sees the game so early. Foden goes in for the short one. He runs ahead of the ball again. Shows great awareness to see Sterling behind him, follows it up, and then another good left-footed finish. Here we see him clever, points to Sterling, he knows what he's going to do. Again, he's a few steps ahead. This was his best goal of the night. And on his left foot, that's a wonderful strike. You could watch that all day. The way he just strikes the ball, it's so effortless to him. We've highlighted him here because, as I'm saying, he sees the next 2 or 3 passes, and for a midfield player, that's so important. He's keeping his space and he's keeping his distance. He doesn't want to go too early. Now he arrives, a little bit of combination play with Foden, Sterling, follows it up again, and I think that he was brilliant for his team tonight. And Liverpool putting the pressure on Manchester City, and he said, that's not happening on my watch. I'm going to drive this team. He scored a hat-trick, I think, in 24 minutes. He's got 19 goals this season. He could have had 5. He could have had 5 goals this evening. With that one hitting the post, and he absolutely deserves the match ball. I thought he had a wonderful evening today.
Yeah, sensational stuff, and there his record. He seems to just get better and better. I think it's something like 57 Premier League goals he's scored now. But do you know what his weakness is? He's never scored a header yet in the Premier League. Out of 57, most of any player to score that many goals.
You don't need to.
You're being picky,
I know, but I just saw that stat: 57 goals and no headers.
No, we'll have to work on that.
He's hopeless.
Yes. But you have to say he is absolutely outstanding.
He
but he doesn't do it, Gary, on his own.
No.
And the movement around him is absolutely first class.
It is. A lot of talk about Haaland, because it's coming in naturally, huge signing for them. And they're doing all right without a traditional number 9, though.
They are. And I suppose God help the rest of the Premier League when he does arrive, because what's happening at the moment is really first-class movement around De Bruyne mostly. They've got Silva and Foden. Foden goes centre-forward quite often, and they had 2 sitters today at the back of the team, which allowed them to go and play this really attractive football. And there's so many players getting in there. It's so difficult to deal with, because 1 minute you have no one to pick up, suddenly you've got 2 in this situation. And Silva, wherever you ask him to play, whether it's up front in midfield, the creativity from him is, again, at the same level. Really top play, the way that they move. And this one here, De Bruyne, if you look at this, it comes into Silva, and it's just like a top centre-forward, the way that he spins, plays a lovely ball in for De Bruyne, and then he does the rest with that left foot. I couldn't work out today which was his best foot. He was that good, scoring 3 goals with his left foot. Again, there's that little movement, little flick into space. It's interchange of movement. It's with top technique and high speed and real intelligence. Just look at Silva here, how he runs 2 defenders away. OK, we see De Bruyne run with it and score a great goal, but look, he takes 2 people out of the way, creates the space, and then that man does the rest. He really is a top talent. Rarely do we see anything like this, Gary, in the Premier League. Probably one of the best players we've ever seen. Yeah. and I don't say it lightly, and it's a joy to watch him play.
No, he absolutely is. Haaland, do you think he'll get a game, will he?
Well,
Give
he
him
wouldn't be a
something
bad
that-
sub to bring on, would he?
Yeah, I know.
But, no, I think Martin's right. They're playing without that, stereotypical number 9. And if Haaland, when Haaland comes, I'm sure he will play. He'll start. But it's so difficult as a defender, as a centre half, to play against that type of team where there's no one that we like to get hold of the centre forward.
you
if it
want
was you,
someone to
Gary,
play up against,
we know who our man is, and we want to get hold of them. And when they're playing with so much flexibility like that, it's so difficult for a centre half.
Okay, let's